Pour in 30 ounces of shredded hash browns. We're making some crock pot cheesy bacon potatoes. Once we have those in there, we're going to take half of this cheese. I shredded up 16 ounces of cheese. We're going to only put half in it right now. This was one of the top voted recipes this week and last week, so I figured it was time to make it. Once you have half the cheese in there, you're also going to take half of your bacon. You cook up. I have 16 ounces of bacon. Put half of it in there at this point. About that much. I cooked it myself. Some people get it pre-cooked. I like to cook it myself. And then we have half an onion that I chopped up that we're going to throw in there as well. Onion's optional. If you don't like onions, just leave it out. I do like onions, so. And then we have some sour cream. We got 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm going to throw into the mix. And then cream of chicken. 1 can of cream of chicken soup. See, I love sour cream and onions personally. My wife, she has her own opinions.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I like sneak it in there and she doesn't know, she likes it. So.
It's true.
All right, once you have that in there, you're going to take a cup of milk and pour that in as well. Okay, once you have all those ingredients in there, you're going to take a wooden spoon or whatever you want to use and go ahead and stir all those ingredients together. Get it nice and mixed in together. Just get it folded in. Some people do this in a mixing bowl. I don't really feel like dirtying up a bowl, and I feel like I can mix it fine in the crock pot. So that's what I'm doing. All right, you'll know that we got that nice and folded in there. We're gonna take the rest of that cheese and just dump it over the top. It's a little clumpy because I shredded it myself. This isn't the bagged stuff. I like that better. And I've heard bagged stuff has a little extra ingredients in there that you don't want. And then we take the rest of that bacon and throw that over the top, and just go ahead and spread that somewhat evenly. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, once you have all that in there, we're gonna put the top on, and we're gonna put it on high for 2 to 3 hours. We'll come back and this baby should be ready. All right, let's check it out. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Oh, this is like the perfect comfort food side dish. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta get right into this. I'm so glad that y'all voted for this recipe, because now I get to enjoy it. I feel like I'm at Cracker Barrel on steroids. Look at that. Man.
Looks good.
Looks super good. I'm hungry too. It's dinner time. It's about to be my side. Y'all gotta try this. Now that it's getting a little colder, we need some good warm sides. Holidays are coming up. This will definitely be a hit. At the Thanksgiving table, Christmas, any time of year, really. This thing is good. Y'all gotta try it. All right, y'all, we're gonna make a loaded potato casserole. We got 6 potatoes that I diced and peeled and boiled for about 10 minutes. That's where we're gonna start, and we're gonna put in a stick of butter, softened up. And we're gonna do 1 cup of sour cream, which is about half, well, really exactly half this container. There we go. We're going to do 4 ounces of cream cheese. Look at all that just white creaminess going on in there. And more to come. We're going to do 1/2 cup of whole milk. We're going to do some cooked bacon. It's already cooked. And I cut it up into pieces. Not all of it. We're going to save a little bit for a part towards the end. We're going to do a heaping teaspoon of minced garlic. And we got some shredded Colby Jack. We're going to put about a cup and a half worth of cheese. We're not going to use all this cheese. We're going to save some also for towards the end of the recipe. There we go. Finally, we're going to throw some salt and pepper on this baby. And let's give it a nice mix. You want to just gently stir it all together. You don't have to like mash up the potatoes. You just want to kind of gently stir it. I mean, if they get a little mashed up, that's fine. That's good. It just doesn't have to be, you know, like mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got that pretty good and stirred up in there. So we're going to take our 13 by 9 dish here and just dump these babies in there. Ooh, wow. Ooh, thicky thick. All right. Now that we got that in there, that in there, we're gonna smooth it over the top. Got that pretty good and smooth over the top there. So we're gonna take that remaining cheese that we had left over, sprinkle it over the top here. Just try to evenly distribute it. I did Colby Jack. Some people might want to do some sharp cheddar. Whatever cheese you prefer, honestly, that's what you can do. All right, so we got the cheese on there, and then we're going to take that remaining bacon that we had also left, put that on the top. That way it can look real pretty when you bring it to the family reunion. Y'all know we eat with our eyes, right? All right, y'all, so we got the oven preheated to 375. We're gonna put it in there for about 25 minutes. And we'll come back and check on it. All right, y'all, let's check out this loaded potato casserole. Oh, that smells good. I smell that bacon too. It's like my favorite smell in the world. I can tell this sheet pan is about to flip. Hopefully it doesn't do it on screen. We'll see. Yeah, get a nice look at that. I think it's time to try this baby. You don't necessarily need a spatula for this because it's a potato casserole, but that's what I'm gonna use. I can already tell this is gonna be like the perfect side dish. Looks so like perfect and creamy. Oh yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Okay, y'all. This is like the perfect side dish. You got a family get together, you got a family reunion, trying to party. You know, you just want to go heavy side dishes at the Super Bowl, whatever you want to make it for. This is some good stuff. Y'all got to try it for real. I got something super tasty today. We got an easy, cheesy cheeseburger pasta casserole. Start with a box of shell pasta, medium. We're going to throw in about a pound, a little more than a pound of lean ground beef. Go ahead and get that in there. Then we're going to take 2 cans, dos cans of tomato soup. Dump that in there with it as well. Make sure to get all the goodness out of there that you can. All right, once you have those ingredients, let's get those mixed together a little bit. And here I took 16 ounces of cheese and I shredded it up. We're gonna put half of that mixture in there. About half. And about half a cup of mozzarella as well. We're gonna throw in there and get all that mixed together in our 9x13. All right, and once you have it mixed in, you're gonna wanna take the remaining cheese and just throw that on top. Go, cut that on top, and we're gonna put in another half cup of mozzarella as well with it. That cheddar and mozzarella mix on top there. All right, y'all, once you have your cheese on top, what you're gonna wanna do is throw some foil on top before you put it in the oven. We have the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna throw it in there for 20 minutes. And then we wanna uncover it for 10 minutes. But throw it in there with foil for 20 minutes. All right, let's get that cheesy cheeseburger pasta casserole out. Ooh, that thing is hefty. Man, that looks good. What you think, Rain?
Looks delicious.
You ready to try some of this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're gonna let it cool down. I don't wanna burn my mouth off. I know I usually eat things hot, but we're gonna let it cool down for a little bit and then I'll come try it. All right, let's give this baby a try. So good. I can already tell this is gonna be amazing. Y'all, this is a hit. Really. This is so easy to make. Your kids will love it. Your spouse will love it. I promise you. So good. All right, y'all, we're gonna make a cheeseburger casserole. We're gonna start with 3 baked potatoes that I cut into rounds. It's gonna go over the bottom of our 13x9 baking dish. All right, we got our bottom layer there. Next, we want to add a layer of cheese. We don't want to use all this cheese. You just want to do about maybe half a cup's worth, because the main layer is going to go on top. But you do want to get this bottom layer on there to get the full effect of this cheesy goodness. A little bit more. All right, now that we have the bottom layer of cheese, we're gonna put our ground beef over the top of our cheese layer. Make sure it's distributed nice and evenly for our cheeseburger casserole. Just get it nice and spread around. Perfect. That was about 1.25 pounds of beef. Next, we got our cream of mushroom soup that we're going to put in as our next layer. This is one of those layered casseroles. Make sure it's nice and scraped out, y'all. So just spread that over the top of the meat as best you can. This thing don't have to be pretty, it's about being tasty. Also, I season the meat with garlic powder, paprika, and a couple other things that I can't remember right now. Oh yeah, salt and pepper. So we got that nice and seasoned up in case y'all are like, he didn't even season the meat. I did season the meat. I seasoned it well. Okay, now that we have that spread over the top, we'll go to our next tasty layer. I sauteed an onion, red pepper, and some minced garlic. And I sauteed it in the beef grease. And I highly recommend doing the same. Get some of that beef flavor in there. Okay, we got all that on there. Get that nice and spread over the top as best you can. Like I said, it ain't gotta be pretty, it's just getting all the flavors mixed in there together. We got that nice and mixed in there. And this was not part of the recipe, but me personally, I want to add a little bit of garlic salt. Just add a little bit of extra seasoning over the top. Season as you cook, y'all. All right, now that we got that, finally, we're gonna add our final amount of cheese over the top of this. This is freshly grated cheddar cheese. I suggest, if you want it to melt real good, I would suggest grating your own cheese and not doing the bagged stuff. It just melts a lot better. But if you don't have time and want to get some bagged stuff, cool, it'll still taste great. It'll just taste a little bit better with that grated cheese. All right, y'all, so we got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna put it in there for 35 to 40 minutes. 35 to 40 minutes, y'all, should be ready. All right, let's check out this cheeseburger casserole. Ooh, that is looking tasty. What you think, Rain?
That looks pretty good.
Oh my goodness. Just smells so good too. I gotta try this while it's still hot. Let's see here. I'm gonna go right in here. Get those potatoes on the bottom. Oh yeah. It ain't gonna be pretty, it's just gonna taste real good. Look at that. Y'all, you gotta try this. Oh man, this looks so good. Man, that is bubbling. Y'all, this is one of the best things I have made on this page. Highly recommend y'all gotta try this for real. For the sake of your family, your loved ones. I'm saying, tell a friend about this one. All right, we're gonna make some cheesy rice and chicken. We're gonna start with 2 chicken breasts, put them there in the bottom. And we're gonna start with our seasonings. We're gonna go ahead and put some salt, some pepper. We're gonna take, it says, the recipe said 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. But if you want to follow the recipe, you can do 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. I love garlic, so that's what I'm doing. All right, once we got that in there, we're gonna put in some chopped onions. You take 1/2 of a medium onion and chop it up, throw it in there. No waste. Keep it moving right along. We're gonna throw 3 cups of chicken broth. Get your best organic chicken broth and throw it over there, or if you even want to make your own at home. So 3 cups of chicken broth, and then we'll have 1 cream of chicken. I try not to do too many canned soups these days, but it's helpful every now and again for certain recipes. Just everything in moderation. Make sure we scrape it out, you know, don't want to waste. Otherwise Paulette's gonna yell at me again. Hey Paulette. How's that looking? I need to get a little more out.
Looks good.
I don't know. I see a little bit on the bottom there. Oh, what's my scrape out score on this one? Y'all tell me in the comments, what's my scrape out score? Okay, now that we have all that in there, we're gonna put in a very important ingredient in this recipe. It's in the name. We're gonna put 1.5 cups of brown rice. Now this recipe works better with brown rice. I wouldn't suggest trying it with white rice because it gets mushy with the white rice. So I would do 1.5 cups. We're doing organic brown rice, 1.5 cups. Okay, so once you have all that, we're gonna stir it all together, make sure it gets all nice and mixed before we start cooking it. Try and break it up. Get the seasoning mixed in there, the onions, cream of chicken. This is just a great recipe, you know, when you need to put something together real quick, take the kids to soccer practice, you know, or go knit a quilt, or, you know, or just fall asleep on the recliner, whatever you feel like doing. Just mix all that together. Ooh, I'm smelling that garlic. So I got that pretty good mixed in there. All right, so now that we have that mixed, we're gonna put the lid over it. We're gonna set it on high. And then we're gonna come back in 4 hours. We got one more step. This isn't the end. After 4 hours, we gotta do one more step that we'll show you. All right, so about 4 hours later, ooh, that's looking pretty good. What you think?
Looks tasty.
All right, before it's done, we got to do one more step. So I shredded about 2 cups worth of sharp cheddar cheese. Shredded it myself because, let's be honest, the bagged stuff is just not as good as real.
It's not as fresh.
Shredded cheese when you shred the block of cheese yourself. So we're just going to put this 2 cups of cheese in here. We got our cheese in there. And then we're gonna just cover it for another 5 minutes, and then it'll be looking nice and cheesy. All right, let's look at this cheesy goodness. Ooh, it smells cheesy too. I'm so glad I took the time to do the, ooh, look at that shredded chicken in there too. Just gonna do a little bit to start. You get a good look at all that?
Oh yeah.
Wow. All right, let's give this a try.
Good.
That's a great, simple recipe. Doesn't break the bank. It's tasty. Got some good protein. Highly recommend. All right, y'all, we're gonna make some Hillbilly hash brown casserole. Gonna start with 32 ounces of shredded hash browns, and then we're gonna dump 2 pounds of ground beef up in there. If I can get it out of this finicky bowl here. You want to drain the meat as best you can, but a little grease never hurt nobody. All right, so we got our 2 pounds of ground beef in there. Moving right along, we got about half a diced yellow onion. It's gonna go in here. Okay. And then we're gonna take 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup and just dump it in there. If I can get them out of here. The laws of physics are fighting against me. Here we go. Get that out of there. And we want to scrape them out. Just like they taught me in the Appalachians. Nice and thorough. We don't like wasting. All right. Now, once you have all that, give it a good mix. Okay, before you have it fully mixed, we're gonna put a little bit of garlic salt. I already seasoned the meat, but I wanna put a little extra seasoning into the full mixture here. And then we're gonna throw a little pepper in there. We're gonna mix it a little bit more before we add one final ingredient. All right, once you mix that up a little bit, we're gonna add half of this cheese. So it's about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I grated it myself. This ain't from the bag, no cardboard. Get that nice and mixed in there. And once we have the cheese mixed in there a little bit, one final little step. 1 cup of milk. Need to get a little creamy. It's feeling a little dry. There we go, now we're talking. All right, we got that nice and mixed up. So we're gonna take our 13 by 9 baking dish and we're gonna throw the mixture in there. Get it all out. All righty. So let's go ahead and smooth this so it's nice and even. I cannot wait to have some of this. We have that nice and evenly spread on there. We got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna throw it in there for 45 minutes to an hour. So we want to check in about 45 minutes to an hour. Should be about ready. We got one more step though. All right, y'all, let's check out this Hillbilly hash brown casserole. Ooh, baby. Man, oh man. All right, y'all, before it's done, we got one final step we gotta do. We're gonna take that cheese that we had left over, put it over the top. You can never have too much cheese, right? Just go ahead and get the rest of it over the top there. So we're gonna put it in there for 5 more minutes, get it nice and melted, and we'll come back and be ready to try. Ooh, you smell that, Rain? Mm-hmm. That smells good. Yeah, get a nice look at that. All right, y'all, this is one I think I gotta serve up while it's hot. So I'm gonna go right here. Look at that. Steaming, baby. Rain's hungry, y'all. All right, let's give this thing a try. I like trying it hot like my buddy Charles. Shout out Charles, Parks, and Kim. Miss you guys. I think we're ready. Man, y'all. That makes me want to load up the truck and move to Beverly Hills. If you know what I mean. Y'all gotta try it. All right, you guys, let's check out this simple potato recipe. We put in 3 potatoes that we cut up and we boiled. So these are boiled potatoes. You want to make sure that they are boiled. Next, we're going to put 3 eggs in there. 1, 2, and a 3. 3 eggs. We're going to mash all that together. We want to mash it up really well. Very thoroughly mashed. All right, once you've mashed it up somewhat, you're going to add a cup of grated cheese, whatever kind of cheese you want. I did Monterey Jack. I shredded it myself. And we keep on mashing it. Now that we got it mashed up pretty good, we want to give it a nice stir. Make sure everything is mixed up together in there. All right, now that we got it nice and mixed up, we're going to take our spoon, form a little ball on top. We're going to take it over here to our frying pan. All right, so we're going to put it here in our frying pan. Flatten the top a little bit. A lot of it. Now we're just going to let them fry for a few minutes and flip them. So we got them nice and frying up. So let's try and flip this baby. I think you got to get it right in the center so it doesn't come apart. And then give it a quick flip. Boom.
Ooh.
I probably could have let that sit a little longer, so I'm going to let these other ones sit a little bit longer. Just have one flip. We are almost there. All right, y'all, I think it's time to serve this baby up. Be real careful. Got our potato dumplings here. Wow, look at that.
Yum.
Look at that. I think I can try this hot. What do you think?
I think you might need to blow on it, but I bet it will be delicious. Ooh.
It's like a cheesy hash brown. That is super good. The right amount of crunch too. I personally would probably put a little more salt in there. The recipe I was given didn't have any salt. It's good as is. You're trying to watch your sodium, but I wouldn't mind a little salt on it. But other than that, y'all gotta try this for real.